Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and I decided to cut off the end of Hero and just jump straight into the live stream because, as you guys know who have heard that song, it does go on for a little bit longer. I think exactly 15 seconds by the software's approximation, but yes. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me on tonight's live stream. I did start planning this, setting everything up an hour and a quarter ago because of the last live stream where everything went wrong in the afternoon and then took me ages to try and get everything back on track, and it did work eventually, but I thought just in case there were problems I'll leave myself a bit of time to get everything sorted, and sure enough, there weren't any problems, so at least I could get everything organised, but then again, that doesn't really mean much because anything can go wrong, and probably will. Anyway, let's have a look into the live chat room, see who is in the house tonight, and we have Bella, Anna, Billy, Dawn, Ro, PN112, Bob, Terry, Corey, Joni, Joe, it just moved really quickly, so I'm going to pick it up a little bit further down. Steve, Lucy, Bev's in there as well, Deborah, Tammy, Charlie's in there, Corey, Karen, Dwayne, and Anna, Mimi, 321, Chandra of the North. Hello, and Billy going through. Thank you for joining me, everybody. So, first of all, I just remembered that we have another number to put up on screen because we've recently just passed 325,000 subscribers. So another ridiculous number, but great, and thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the notification bell, hitting the thumbs up, commenting on the videos, just watching the videos in the first place, but tuning into these live streams as well. It's great to chat to you guys in a live setting rather than just in the comment sections and via emails and messages that way. Over on Patreon as well, I'm over there every day, as you guys know, over there, so I do receive a lot of messages there, and I answer every single one every evening, even though it takes me quite a long time. But that is the point of Patreon. If you want to send me a message, then you can do, but let's get rid of that so that you can actually hear what I'm saying now without all that cheering going on. Let's get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So a huge shout out to these lovely people, and their names go across the screen on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night. As you guys know, they are the foundation of everything that I do and make this possible. Analysis videos, the cover videos that I've done in the past, analysis videos, the interview videos, everything that you see is thanks to these people at the bottom of the screen. So thank you guys very much for all of your support. And yeah, over the years, I mean, I have been on Patreon for a few years now, probably more than a few, but it, was something that was instrumental, no pun intended, but instrumental in me being allowed to do what I do now, and chat to you guys in a live stream every single Tuesday and a Saturday. So yeah, it's all good. We'll keep on pushing forward. Obviously back then I had, I think, 1,500 subscribers and I had 20 patrons, so that's where we started out for quite a long time, probably about a year and a half or 2 years. We were just doing that kind of thing, and I was teaching guitar during the day and just did one video a month. But things have moved on a little bit since then, and now we're doing 3 videos a week and 2 live streams, so that's 5 video type things, and then 2 admin days, which I very much need to catch up with all the emails while I'm doing the analysis videos and the live streams. I'm still getting messages literally as we speak, but then I get through them all in between analysis videos and live streams. But yeah, an interesting journey so far. 325,000. I mean, that's a good enough audience for me, and 1,500 was great. So yeah, 325,000 is a little bit crazy, but we will keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. So for tonight's live stream, we have a vote for the cover video, and that's between Wanted Dead or Alive and Just Got Lucky. So a Bon Jovi, Dokken, I was going to say show off, but probably more standoff is probably the best way to describe it for tonight's cover video. So have a vote on whichever one of those you want to see. It looks like Wanted Dead or Alive's in the lead, but not by much at all, because it was 50% and now it's 51%. So it's gone 1% in the lead. Just click on either of those, whichever one you want to hear. Even if you don't want to hear any of them, we're definitely going to have to listen to one of them. So you can just click randomly on one. You can decide. So we do have Picture Corner that's going to be kicking off later tonight, because we had pictures that weren't shown on the last live stream because everything went wrong with my computer and it wouldn't start. Fingers crossed everything works tonight and everything doesn't freeze. It hasn't frozen since last Saturday, but I never count my chickens, so it could well freeze tonight. And if that is the case, then all I could do when it froze before was literally shut down the computer, because even the task manager thing to force close programs, that didn't respond either. Totally frozen. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we will see. Fingers crossed for tonight. But because of all of that happening on Saturday, we are going to be having Saturday's Picture Corner tonight. So there have been a couple of extra pictures that have been added to it as well. So let me also mention the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you are a Facebook user and you want to get involved over there, joining the conversation with the lovely people in the live chat room between live streams, then you can join that group. You'll be allowed in there, and that's where Bob hosts the after party after the live streams as well. So yeah, if you are a Facebook user, you can head over there. Let me get the lights goal up on screen, because during these live streams we always aim for a number, and if we hit that number, then we have a jam along. I say we have. I attempt to jam along to a backing track that Joe sends me, which is entirely random on the genre or whatever it's going to be. In the last live stream, unfortunately, you guys couldn't hear what I was playing, at least for the first couple of minutes, and then I looked and realised everybody was saying we can't hear anything going on. So what I've done tonight is rewire the microphone, or at least rewire everything so that when it's the fill jam time, if we do hit 365, that's what we're aiming for tonight. So if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated to get us to that fill jam total. But with rewiring everything, it means that all I've got to do now is just press a button to turn on the microphone. So I've just got to remember to do that. And I think in the last live stream, for some reason, I spent a long time not looking at the live chat room. And I normally do that. I think because of all the other problems that I was having, and the fact that PayPal and trying to cross-reference donations that came in live with the emails that I was getting through live. And then the fact that the Safari browser wasn't working. So I had to substitute those for Chrome browsers. And because I was doing all this while I was live, obviously, I was looking to make sure that everything's still working on all the screens, all the windows that I'm looking at the moment. So yeah, I forgot to look in the live chat room. But tonight, hopefully, I'll remember to do it. So now it's going to have to be a 3-phase process. It's going to be turn on mic, or just press the button. The other thing that we have is raise the chair, even though I don't think I need to raise the chair anymore, because I just zoom out now with the camera. So it's press the button, zoom out, and maybe just check that you can hear it as well. But this is the other thing, that the mix seems to be better going through my amp behind me. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I don't know why it tends to just come across more clearly, because even with the Fender amp down there, even though it's playing back at the same volume, it doesn't come across as clearly. And this one actually sounds quieter behind me, but it's a clearer signal for some reason. It's probably something to do with the size of the amplifier, or should I say the size of the cone of the amplifier, because obviously the cones are bigger on the amp behind me. So anyway, getting back to it, I can see that we have got, let's get up on screen at the likeometer. We have got 202 likes so far. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. It means we're looking for 163. I do believe that's the number that popped into my head. So that's what we are going with, I think that's correct. So every single thumbs up is much appreciated. If you could do that as you come through the door, that would be great. Now, I do mention on the live streams that you don't have to donate. Just watching is fantastic. Maybe leaving a thumbs up, introducing yourself into the live chat room. And then we get to know each other, and I get to know your usernames. And yeah, regular viewers, we can obviously know each other's usernames and little pictures, but we can see pictures that you do upload to that Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, so that we can see you guys up on screen instead of looking at me the whole time during the live streams. But yes, I do look into that live chat room to see what's going on sometimes. And Vince says, hello, Phil. So, hello, Vince. I just saw that pop up on the screen. But what we will do... Oh, Joanna says, stoked to be here. So, thank you for that, Joanna. And thank you, everyone in that live chat room, for joining in. I can see lots of pictures going through there as well. Right, let's jump into the PayPal donations, because I do believe I am now getting notified for the PayPal donations. At least before I went live. I mean, it takes a while, but I'm cross-referencing my emails with donations that have come through on PayPal, or when I log into my PayPal account, looking at all the transactions that go on there. I then cross-reference them, and I think everyone is in there at least before we started the live stream. So I will jump into these, because there was a donation from Janice for £15. So thank you for that. And the message is, your burgers are the best, and I believe that the hot dogs go on. So thank you for that. And if nobody knows what Janice is on about, this is a reference to a comedian here called Peter Kay. And he had a section in his, I'm not sure where it was maybe the O2 is where he was performing. Anyway, the location doesn't really matter. Part of his comedy act was misheard lyrics, and he goes through some different songs with his tape recorder. You might have seen it on the internet. It's got quite a lot of views, but he's very well known here in the UK, and everybody knows this particular sketch or thing that he did when he's talking about all these words that he used to hear incorrectly, or at least he thought they were different words. So yeah, definitely worth a view on YouTube. If you type in Peter Kay misheard lyrics, then you'll be able to find that particular video. So yeah, that's what Janice is referring to there. Thank you for that. And we had another donation that came through from Nicole for £10.71. So thank you for that, Nicole. The message is, hello, Phil. Hope the problems with your computer are settled. And so I wish you a beautiful week with music and us. Kisses and rock. So thank you for that. And I mean, in terms of the weather update, because having a beautiful week, I think, would be quite good if it was quite mild in temperature. I know that here in the UK recently, I say it feels like it is recently, maybe 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, it was very hot. But now it's suddenly got really cold. And when I say really cold, not really, really cold, because it's only October. So it gets really cold in December and January, maybe February as well, when we're fully into winter. But it was -1. Actually, it's been -1, so below freezing here, a couple of nights in a row. So yeah, that is quite cold for this time of year. So this is why the hoodie's back on. We're trying to stay warm. So the weather is, very much unpredictable. And I think the problem is as well, because I stay out very late at night, it means that when it gets really cold, nobody really notices because they're asleep. And then they wake up in the morning and then they think, oh, it's only, 6 or 7 degrees. It's really cold this morning. And then I say, yeah, but 5 hours ago it was -1. It was freezing, literally. So anyway, cold temperatures, and I think it's going to continue here in the UK. So hopefully things get a little bit milder, but who knows? Anyway, and thank you, Tammy, for this donation of £20. And the message is, hi, Phil, congratulations on hitting 325,000 subscribers. How do you define success in your musical career? And do you feel you've achieved it? So thank you for that, Tammy. And I mean, this is pretty much going to be the same answer that I gave to the last question in the last live stream, really, about me, defining success myself. I just always wanted to do music full time and not have to, teach guitar. And the thing is, when I used to teach guitar in a shop, which is kind of in my mid-20s, I would start before the shop even opened. So I think that was maybe 8 in the morning, which meant that I was getting up at, I don't know, probably 7. And then, getting into work, obviously driving to work, opening up the shop, and then letting in the first people at 8. And then the shop would, at least the owner of the shop and maybe the staff would turn up about 8:30, getting ready to open at 9. So I was teaching, before everybody else, and then the shop would close at 4, and that would be my last lesson would be between 3:30 and 4. So it meant that I was starting before everybody and then seeing the whole day out, and I wouldn't have a break. I'd teach from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon without any rest in between. So that's why I was always hoping at some point for a cancellation, so it meant that I got half an hour off, to eat something or, just rest my mind a little bit, because when I was teaching one student, the next student would be waiting outside, and then obviously you swap one student to the next one, and it's just every Sunday that's what I did. And I know that technically that's illegal because you have to have a break for you work a certain amount of hours and then you have to have a break. But when you're in your early to mid-20s, you're trying to earn as much money as possible. So that's exactly what I was trying to do, because, I wanted to do music. I wanted to save up enough money to have the petrol to make it to gigs. And not only that, if you're rehearsing twice a week, that's going to be at least 100 quid a week just in rehearsal fees before you're even thinking about petrol and buying tickets as well that you then have to sell. Buy tickets from the promoters, sell them, and it means you're always working at a loss for original music and original bands. So yeah, I would work as much as possible. And when I was teaching on behalf of that shop, I only got half of the fee. So it meant that it was £15 a lesson. So I was getting £7.50 an hour. No, £7.50 every half an hour, because I was doing 2 lessons every hour. So yeah, 15 quid an hour. So it meant that on a Sunday, if I just beasted it all day, it meant that I would make, close to £100. Obviously, my math isn't very good, but I remember that was the thing. I thought, this would actually cover my rehearsals for the week if I can do this one day of not having a break and just getting kind of everyone in as much as possible. And any extra money I made, I mean, I could put that in a kitty for guitar strings or a new amp if I needed an amp. And I remember saving up for this particular amp behind me because the amp that I had wasn't loud enough for some gigs that we were now starting to play. So yeah, this is it, that I wanted to be able to do music full time without having to kind of work hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to then just break even. I would much rather be working on my own music rather than teaching people other people's music and other people's solos. And this is the other thing about teaching, is that when I was teaching a student, I think teaching guitar is totally different to any other job, because with any other job, generally, if you worked in a supermarket or something, or you worked at McDonald's, you'd start at, well, you wouldn't start at 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe you do, but you definitely get a break at some point. But you'd start, and then you'd kind of work your way through. You get to the time you finished, and then you'd go home. But then once you've gone home, that's it. You're then just watching TV or relaxing or, doing whatever you want to do. But when you teach guitar, you then look in your diary and think, I've got this student tomorrow, and I used to work on Mondays as well. So it meant that, let's skip this ad before it jumps in. So it meant that the next day I would have to plan the lessons. On Sunday evening, when I got home after doing all that, you then think, tomorrow I'm teaching this solo, I'm teaching that song, I'm teaching this particular scale, this person wants to figure out this particular mode. So I plan out my lessons in the evening, and then you get up for work the next day, and now you've got to do that. And when you finish on Monday, then you have to start planning Tuesday's lessons. So it is pretty much full on. And I know that most guitar teachers probably don't plan their lessons at all and just give them a really basic. If somebody wants to learn something, the teacher will say, "Oh, I haven't learned it, so I can't teach you it." Whereas I always kind of planned ahead so that the students advanced from one lesson to the next, because I guess that's just part of what I wanted to offer a student. I thought, well, there's no point in them paying for lessons unless I'm making them a better player. So yeah, maybe it was a bit self-inflicted, but that's just how I did it. So I think if you do teach guitar and you do it in a proper way for somebody to progress, then you spend a lot of time planning your lessons and writing out the music and I did tabs because for a lot of students they prefer to read tabs, so it meant that I just tabbed up all of the stuff that we were learning, so they then had that as a reference point. And unfortunately on the internet, loads of people, even with the official versions of solos, it's wrong. So I was making sure that I gave the right versions of the solos to all of my students so that they didn't make the same mistake that everybody makes on a particular solo by playing it incorrectly. So anyway, yes, like I said, same answer really as the last question, that just doing it full time is what I wanted to do. And so therefore I feel at the moment, it's kind of where I aimed to be, where I want to be. I don't have any things that I really want to achieve because for me I feel like I've already achieved what I set out to. But of course I won't say no to potential things in the future that are going to be interesting to do and fun to do with other musicians, all that kind of stuff, like the interviews, collaborations that I've done in the past on the channel. I'm not going to refuse any of those because it's great to interact with other musicians and other professionals. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Steve has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. The message is, how can you change the mood or feeling of a riff or line by playing it differently without changing the notes? So thank you for that, Steve. And there's a million and one ways that you can change the way just one riff sounds or just a series of notes sound. And this is something that could go on for many, many live streams just demonstrating it. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be quite a good experiment for later on. I'm going to press the on button for my microphone and that might have popped, it might have cracked, I do not know. You'll have to let me know in the live chat room, but we will grab this and I can check that this is all working. But I don't think this is going to be particularly good to demonstrate because I don't know what the tone's going to be like. Probably. Okay, we've got some delay going on. I don't know whether you can hear this or not. And that was me actually picking it twice. So those are the delays. So I think this should be coming through if you guys can hear it. But let me just play through that. Right, let's take a riff as an example. Okay, what I'm going to do is play the Sunshine of Your Love riff, but in the wrong position. Because if I played it up here, maybe there'd be some copyright thing. Or I'll play it slightly differently just to show you that. In fact, I shouldn't have said that. This is just going to be a series of notes and... So playing those notes like that, you'll recognise it. And if I go... If I change the phrasing, I've played exactly the same notes, but it now isn't the song anymore because all I've done is change the timing of what I'm playing. In fact, it sounds like it's going to be a totally different song along the theme of the riff that we started with. So if we went and slid in, and slid into notes, then again I'm playing the same riff, but it's changing the way that we interpret the sound. And this is the thing, that before you even start playing, if I go and slide into it, we've taken in that information, that we've achieved a different result from getting to the note, but you've heard other notes before it and you've kind of slid up to it. So yeah, loads of things that you can do. You know, slides and vibrato. If I went and vibratoed a note, yeah, obviously it's going to sound nothing like the riff, even though I'm playing the notes. The one thing that will make it sound like it is that little semitone rundown. But it's because you guys know the riff that I played in the first place. If I didn't give you that reference point, then you wouldn't know what riff I was playing. And that's the point. I mean, that's the point of music in general, is that every song, like every guitarist, has exactly the same frets. It doesn't change. So how do you write a song that sounds different to another song where you've used exactly the same instrument and you've got exactly the same notes? Like every instrument that is used to make songs in, you know, the mainstream charts, but in any charts, they've all got the same notes. Everybody's only got these notes to work with, so how do you make it sound different? And this is how, but with phrasing and holding on notes a little bit longer than others, applying techniques such as slides and vibratos, hammer-ons, pull-offs, all that kind of stuff, and that's going like that. So that kind of thing, which is also doing that. I'll slow it down. That's a trill. You know, going from one note to the next and then back down. It's just that change of one note. So I think somebody asked me recently what a trill is. So there you go. And that's it. Sometimes you kind of hear that kind of thing, and that's just a trill. And there's a hammer-on and a pull-off as well, another guitar technique. And I mean, this just reminds me of questions that I get asked in the comments section. Another one, somebody asked, oh no, they said about, I think it was the Tina S video. Somebody said, oh, I figured out that on average she plays 7 notes a second for like 5 minutes. And then somebody else commented saying, oh, that's so fast, it's hard to even comprehend that speed of playing 7 notes a second. So then I tend to jump into the comments section, as you guys know, and I just explained that if I'm in E at the moment, so if I went and played these notes and went 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5, 6, 7. That's 7 notes. And if I went like that, I just played 7 notes in a fraction of a second. So I think the people that don't play guitar, they don't realise that when you tap onto the guitar like that, you get a noise for every hammer-on, and for every pull-off, you get another note. So it means that you only really have to go. Obviously, now this is kind of, if we were to time a second, there'd be a lot more notes going on there than 7. But just to give people a bit of a reference point when they go, oh, I can't even imagine what 7 notes a second is. It's just that, you know, it's not kind of super fast. And if you were to do 7 notes a second's actually quite a long time when you're talking about guitar phrases. So anyway, there you go. Just answering a few questions in one there, just because I reminded myself of those that do get asked in the comments section. So anyway, thank you for that, Steve. And we have, got the guitar out early tonight, but there has been another donation, and this has come through from Paul for $5. So thank you for this, Paul. And the message is, congratulations on 325,000 subscribers. Please spike those likes, all y'all. Great idea there from Paul. If you can hit a thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. And Val has donated £10 in the super chat window. So thank you for that. And it is a straight up donation. So, right, there has been another donation or two in here. So thank you guys for these. It is Debbie who has donated £10. So thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, Hi Phil, great job on the Elvis analysis video. He was such a gifted and talented performer. Congrats on hitting 325,000 subscribers. You are the best. You are the best. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And this has reminded me of another thing about the comment section, or somebody talking about Elvis performing. I mean, back in, I think it was 1957. This particular video. But anyway, talking about playing live. I mean, back in those times where some people think because they can't see a microphone anywhere that it's not live, that it must be pre-recorded or mimed. And I did say on every video I will tell you if it is mimed, if it's not live. And on that particular video I demonstrated as well that the solo that Scotty Moore was playing. And again, I do watch every instrumentalist to see what they're playing and to make sure that Scotty's fingers is matching up with what we're hearing, but you can tell straight away that it's a live vocal. And the reason that some of it goes out of sync, and this is another thing that people think that if it goes out of sync it means it's not live, but in this particular case I think it was because I'd taken the footage that had been remastered or colorized, I guess you'd call it maybe, but it had color added to it. So I took that video and applied the original audio from another video of the same performance and then applied it so that at least you got both of the effects of having a good sounding audio, because the kind of remastered version the audio is awful, and then the original audio from the other video. So yeah, it might have gone ever so slightly out of sync at some point, but I mean that happens on YouTube videos anyway. Anyway, back to why people think it's not live. There are some shows that, first of all, were really careful with getting leads out of the way so that you couldn't see them dangling, you couldn't see them on the floor, and to the point where it would be going down the back of the leg of some of the players, so it means that it's going down to the ground and you can't see any of the leads. But some of the performances were live, even though they look like they're mimed. Getting back to, in this case, back in the 50s and the 60s, they used boom mics, and I think if you've ever seen them recording a TV show, which I have multiple times, you can see the guy with the boom and the mic. And to explain it, I don't know whether, I'm assuming everybody knows what it is, but it's kind of like this. It gets the microphone to hang, so that means that the microphone's on the end of your mic stand, effectively, that's really long, and the person holding it is counteracting the weight, so that the mic is a long way away from where the stand is being held, but it dangles above in exactly the same way that if I move this up, which I won't do because it's in a fixed position, but if I moved this up but then just angled it down towards myself, you would still hear me as clearly as I'm talking now, but you wouldn't see the microphone. And then by that thinking, people would say, he must be miming all of his analysis videos. But it's just that you can't see it. And this is why every TV performance will always pretty much be framed like this. They might have a little bit more space at the top, but it's always quite tight to the performer's head because there's a mic above them all the time, and they don't want to shatter the illusion and show you that somebody's actually following round the singer holding the mic above their head. So it's to do with framing as well, and this is why with particular angles and shots it's very well rehearsed to make sure that the boom mic isn't in shot. This reminded me of another video where it was Julie Andrews who was performing, and people said, she's obviously miming because you can't see the microphone. But it's exactly the same in that performance, that there was a boom mic above her, and that's why. You can tell straight away when it's a live performance or not. The other thing is, somebody said, the drums aren't mic'd up, so it mustn't be live. But when you've got a mic above, Elvis in this case, drums are very loud. You don't need to mic up a drum kit when you've got a microphone. If I had a drummer, even a couple of meters, a few meters behind me, as would have been the case in that Elvis performance, trust me, this microphone is going to pick it up very clearly indeed. It's going to pick up my voice, of course, but the drums, and maybe people that don't play the drums or they haven't been to a live gig and just stood next to a drum kit, they don't realise how loud drums are. You don't need to mic up a kit. So in that performance, it wasn't mic'd up, but it doesn't matter because, I mean, the drums are plenty loud enough. I mean, the same thing for the guitars. If you have a mic placed in the right place, it will pick up pretty much everything that's going on. I mean, with TV shows, generally they will try and run a feed, get as much control as they can for the drum kit and the guitar and you know, and the vocals. But I mean, back in the 50s, you could get quite a decent sound just with one microphone with a proper band playing live, because it is loud, as you guys will know if you've ever been to see a live band or just rehearsed with a drummer. You have to wear earplugs. That's how loud it is. So anyway, another thing that reminded me, it was Debbie saying about Elvis. So thank you for that donation. And Karen has donated £3.14, so thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 325,000 subscribers. I've watched your journey for about 3.5 years and have learned a lot. Thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And Susan has donated £20.43, and that is a straight up donation, so thank you for that, Susan. And Laura has donated £10 as well, so thank you for that, Laura. And the message is, do you ever see any of your previous students, or do you know of any that follow your channel? So thank you for that, Laura. And my ex-students, I don't follow them. I mean, that sounds a bit sinister. I'm not kind of looking around trying to find all my old students and seeing what they're up to. But yeah, I am in contact with a few of them, especially a few that were with me when everything started to take off, because they then understood that I needed more time in order to deal with what I was dealing with on my YouTube channel and sending off my CDs, because at that point I was making them myself. So the amount of time it would take me to print off my CD, you know, cut it out to the right shape, and then write on it and sign it, and then glue it together, wait for the glue to be now solid so I could put it in the CD case, and then get the CD as well. And I used to print out the CD cover, like the wings of Pegasus. I did that, and then the problem with those is you peel it off, so now you've got a CD sticker that you now have to place perfectly on the CD. So I mean, I was a bit OCD about that because I wanted it to be perfect. So this is the other thing, that if it then folded back on itself, you had to start all over again because it's so sticky. So I only got one attempt at it. So yeah, I would stick that on there, and I was doing this for every CD order, and then it got to the point where I thought, yeah, I literally can't do this. I don't have enough time to do it for every order. So that's when I then started getting them made in bulk, so I don't have to do that every time. But it was at that point that my students realised that, yeah, I don't have time to do everything. And obviously with increased sales of my CD, it meant that I was making more money, and therefore if I was making 2 or 3 CD sales a day, I was then covering what would have been 2 or 3 lessons a day. So yeah, it meant that I could cut down on the teaching and spend more time just working on sending out my music, which was great. But yeah, certainly the students who were still with me right at the end, I've kept contact with them. And I mean, I'm sure that they'd be interested in the guitar course that I'm going to be doing recently. That's something that I started planning yesterday. It's going to take a long time. It is going to take a long time, but I was just setting out the modules, the way that it's going to progress as people go through it. Because, yeah, not that I'm going to spend ages explaining it, but I'm literally starting from what sound is. And the whole point of the course is that if you've learned any theory, any scales, any modes, that's fine. But my guitar course is going to have nothing to do with any of that, because we're approaching it from what sound is. So when you hear a sound, what do you do to respond to that? Because I think we all have the ability to do that. We just don't realise that we do have the ability. And if we do realise we have the ability, like, you know, singing Happy Birthday and knowing the notes, we know that we can do that, but it's accessing that part of the brain that allows us to do that. So now it should, and it does, allow you to create music yourself, you know, independently and artistically, to use your own voice through an instrument. But it's teaching people how to lock into that part of their brain that everyone, when they start playing the guitar, they say, right, what key is it? Okay, now that I know the key, I know the scale, so I play these notes. It's not like that. It's what's the sound? It's this sound. Okay, so the notes I can play are these, and you already know. And then it's transferring that to your instrument. I mean, you could apply it to any instrument. Just so happens that I'm going to be teaching on the guitar. So yeah, like I said, it's starting from the absolute basics of what a sound is, and the reason why great singers, you know, think of great singers that we've analysed recently, like Janis Joplin, for example. When she got up on stage, she didn't take her sheet music with her and to read the notes of the notes that she's about to sing. She did it, and more often than not, she would extemporise vocally, meaning she's singing notes that she's just coming up with. So it's kind of looking at that and thinking, right, what's she doing? How is she doing that? How is she accessing all of the right notes of the scale without reading it, without having learned the scale first? So that's what, on the course, we're going to be locking into, and we're going to be going all the way through to the point where you will, by the end, in the last module, be playing over the top of a backing track you've never heard before, but you'll be playing notes that fit and notes that work, because you'll be using a totally different part of your brain, quite literally. I don't get into kind of right hemisphere and left hemisphere of the brain and all of that. I don't get into that kind of detail, but it is literally using something that I think a lot of musicians actually haven't locked into. They don't realise that they've got all this creativity that is going on, but they've never used it because they're just looking at the guitar using scales all the time. So anyway, yeah, it's going to take a long time to do, but eventually it'll be finished, and I'll keep you guys informed over on Patreon as to how that's going. But the reason that I mention it is because I think my students will probably be interested in that, because it's very much a continuation of what I used to teach them, and I gave them an appreciation of when they were playing lead guitar. So, right, let's get back on track with tonight's live stream, because we are keeping an eye on that likeometer, by the way. We are at 307 likes so far. We're aiming for 365, which means we're looking for 58. Is that right? I'm not sure. 58 likes is what I'm going to say. 58 more people to hit that thumbs up in the live chat room before the end of the live stream. And let's have a look at the vote for tonight's cover video. Wanted Dead or Alive has 57% of the vote, so we might be jumping into that relatively soon. And I'll tell you what, we will jump into the cover video for tonight, because then it'll leave us a bit of space for Picture Corner, because we've got a few pictures in there that we want to take a look at. And I've just realised that I haven't got the messages from Joe up on screen to access the backing track later on if we do hit that target of 365. So we will watch the cover video for tonight. Let me skip that advert. There's so much kicking off on these screens now while I'm doing the live stream, clicking on things, cancelling adverts, realising I haven't got the messages that I need for later on. And now I've got top chat. It's now changed from top chat. I want to go to live chat. Thank you. Cancelling an advert and ending the poll. That's another thing that I'm going to be doing here. So let's end that. It looks like it's going to be Wanted Dead or Alive, which is going to be the winner. Let me have a look. Waiting for it to come through. And here we go. So it was 56% of the vote for Wanted Dead or Alive. So we'll jump into that. While that's playing, I'm going to jump into the other window to make sure that I've got the backing tracks to see how long tonight's Fill Jam's going to be if we do hit the target, so that we have enough space to do it before the end of the live stream. But here's my version of the Bon Jovi song, Wanted Dead or Alive. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock!
it's all the same. Only the names are changed every day. It seems like we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on this steel horse I ride. Wanted, dead or alive. Sometimes I sleep, sometimes it's not for days. The people I meet always go their own separate ways. Sometimes you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. Times when you're alone, when all you do is think. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on this steel horse I ride. Wanted, dead or alive. I want these streets, a loaded six-string on my back. I play for keeps, 'cause I might not make it back. I've been everywhere, and still I'm standing tall. I've seen a million faces, and I've rocked them all. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on this steel horse I ride. Wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or
And there we have it. That was my version of Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. Now I did jump over into the messages from Joe, and Joe has sent me a message, which means he saved me a lot of searching, because it means it pops to the top of the message list. And yeah, it was becoming a bit of a struggle to find the message, because every message I get on Patreon moves the other messages down. So yeah, since the last time Joe sent a message, it was quite a way down there. But because he's now moved the backing tracks up, it means that I can now see them. And it was number 50. The other thing was, when that video was playing, thankfully I turned off the feed, because I was, you know, with this. Oh, first of all, I'm in standard tuning here, and with that particular cover video, it's detuned. So playing, you know, detuned means that if you're playing in E, then you go down to E flat, and you know, for D, which this is D, it means it's in D flat. So all of that, basically, I was playing little lead lines along to the video, and then realised, oh, what's happened? But thankfully it was quiet, because it would have been the classic case of what you hear with a lot of performances, where there's a lead guitarist in the background who's just going mental, and you think, well, no, be quiet, because it's the verse now, so it's not your time to shine. So so yeah, I'm tempted to let the video play through again and do a quick example of what I'm talking about, but I have to find, I tell you what, if I play this, can you still hear me? all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't know how loud the guitar is. I couldn't even hear the performance there. But it's that kind of thing. You just suddenly get loads of guitar playing in the background. Oh, Billy says, can hear. So you could hear me. Good. So yeah, that kind of thing that you're just constantly, playing over the top all the time. So, yeah. I was just checking that it was detuned, but it definitely was. So I think I was playing the relevant notes there, accounting or planning for the detuned guitar that I was playing in that particular performance. Anyway, moving on, we are going to be jumping into Picture Corner. So, and tonight's Phil Jam backing track is 8 minutes and 1 second. It is number 50 that we're looking for. Yes, it is. Number 50, 8 minutes and 1 second. So that's quite a long backing track. We'll get into Picture Corner, but we are looking for 25 more people to hit that thumbs up. So if you could do that, that would be great. If you're watching this or witching that, if my brain had its way of changing the vowels around from each of those words, if you're watching this on catch up in the future, then you can still hit that thumbs up. It really helps the channel to get out there a little bit more, and for these live streams to get out there as well. So yeah, if you're watching this, hello to you in the future. Talking about the future, at some point, maybe it's the end of this month, I'm not sure, but at some point the clocks are going to change, I'm sure, because it's already getting dark very early here, maybe not 7 p.m, but then it's like 6 p.m, and then it gets dark at 5 p.m. when the clocks change, maybe 5 p.m. and then closer to 4 p.m, and it's a bit ridiculous and just constantly nighttime. But I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. I'll let you guys know as and when that is going to happen, because maybe we'll go out of sync with the times for the live stream, but that'll happen a little bit later on. So Marsha has donated $20 and says, do you have any Styx songs? And I don't have any Styx cover songs that I've done. So yeah, they're one of those that have, I don't know, it just hasn't been requested. With my cover songs, it's generally just people on Patreon saying, oh, can you do this song? Can you do that song? And that was at a time where I was just doing one video a month. So it means that I'd spend about 2 weeks on the cover videos, doing, the instruments, like playing the instruments and doing the instruments, but doing the song, like literally getting the whole song together, because I don't use backing tracks or anything like that. So the message goes on, I think too much time on my hands or Renegade would be great to sing. What's your thoughts? So thank you for that. And I mean, I still do get some people saying, oh, can you cover this song? Can you cover that song? It's just at the moment, kind of taking a couple of weeks off just to work on a song. I literally can't afford to do that at the moment. And I know with the algorithm on YouTube, if I take any time off, even miss one video, then it stops telling subscribers about my videos, which means that obviously people don't watch the videos. And sometimes it's quite funny. It's not that funny, but it's funny in a way, because some people say, oh, it's great to see you back on YouTube. I used to watch your videos a year ago, but I haven't stopped. I've never stopped in the last... I did a new video every night for 2 years, over 2 years, and I've kept on going for, 5 years, maybe 6 years now. So I've never been away from YouTube, as you guys will know if you're regular viewers and you know when the videos come out that I don't miss one. And if ever I miss one, which is rare, I always let you guys know over on Patreon as to why that is. But yeah, I very rarely miss a video. So yeah, it just goes to show that some subscribers might have not have got a video for like a year, and then they say, oh, it's great to see you back. I haven't gone anywhere, but this is just the YouTube algorithm. And I mean, this is the point, that when I'm talking about album downloads and album sales, like physical product sales and merchandise, all that kind of stuff, that's all dependent on the through flow of traffic from the YouTube videos. So if I suddenly take 2 weeks off, obviously the algorithm's going to say, oh, he's not making videos anymore, we're not notifying anybody about anything that he's doing. All of that through flow for the things that I have available that people buy, it means that I won't be selling the same amount that I need to sell in order to do things full time. So yeah, that's the thing, that I literally can't afford to do that. At the moment, it's just something that, pretty much everybody on YouTube, I think, is locked in to the algorithm and is very much dependent on it still, saying to your subscribers that you've released a video. So yeah, that is just part of it. But, I still have a list of covers that maybe in the future at some point. But I don't know. I don't think that, if I think about in the future, maybe I've got 1 million subscribers and now I don't do anything anymore other than kind of cover videos. So it means I don't respond to emails. I don't read your messages in the comments section. I don't do my Patreon page. Somebody else does that. I don't do my Facebook page. If I think about being at that point, that's not how I want to do it. I don't want to be doing cover videos and releasing them and having no interaction whatsoever with anybody that's actually checking out my channel. So I think I probably prefer to do this, that I am really busy all the time, but I'm interacting with the people that are actually watching what I'm doing, rather than being totally disconnected. And I know that there are other channels out there that are around the same kind of level that I'm at that do just offload everything. And even on their Patreon page, you can see that they don't even, I heart all of the comments to show that I've read them. So when I do that every night, I just kind of click on that to let people know that I've seen their message and I've read it, and I respond to every message that I get on Patreon in my inbox. So people know that I'm reading it all the time. And I know there are other people that don't do all that. They don't even read people's comments on Patreon. And as I say, Patreon's the foundation of everything that I do. So yeah, if Patreon disappeared, then everything would disappear, because yeah, I literally wouldn't be able to afford to, keep just the day-to-day, bills paid and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it really is the foundation, as I always say. But I think people greatly underestimate what I mean when I say that, for how important Patreon is. So again, massive shout out to these amazing people to the bottom of the screen for literally making it all possible. And we're looking for 4 more likes. Let me jump into Picture Corner, by the way. And here we go. Right, let me get everything loaded that I need. And I don't know where this screen grab's going to show these pictures. It's gone in the middle. It's always a bit random as to where it shows them, but we are in the middle. And this is Suzanne holding her Wings of Pegasus signed album, by the way. And this is what I'm referring to when I say that I literally send out every CD myself and sign it. This is one that has made its way to Suzanne from, yes, my very hand. So there you go. It does make it, and this is the thing, if you do order over in the USA, it can take a few weeks to get over there, but it does get there eventually. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And this is Karen with her picture of, I believe, a Wings of Pegasus t-shirt mock-up type thing that isn't in existence, but like an idea. So thank you for that. And let me first of all read Suzanne's message. Let me just go back in time a little bit, because Suzanne said, I bought another CD from Phil and a purple t-shirt. I'm sending you a picture for the live stream. It's the CD and a pink t-shirt that Phil knows about. It's to give Phil ideas for future merch. So thank you for that. So we're getting some ideas for future merch. Thank you for that, Suzanne. And this is Karen's t-shirt idea with Wings of Pegasus philosophy. And by the looks of it, we've got lots of quotes on there, such as "Holy Guff," "Ruddy Heck," "Are you yanking my crank?" I can read that. Oh, and "Rock." So yeah, we have lots of expressions on there with my animated self. So thank you for sending that one in, Karen. And here we have Janice. Now, I don't know whether in the USA is Halloween for the whole month of October, because here in the UK we just have it for one day. But it seems like, this is a Halloween themed picture from Janice. So thank you for this one. And she has the Wings of Pegasus hoodie. Let me scroll down to get the message that accompanied this one. and it says modelling wings of Pegasus, earrings, bucket hat and hoodie. So thank you for that one, and it looks like she's got a sidekick there who shall remain nameless. So thank you, Charlie, as well. This is more just a well wishes request from, Laura, but everybody in that live chat room, wishing all the best to Charlie. Charlie's not been very well recently, so this is just something to say get well soon and hope everything improves. So I can see that Charlie was in the live. He was in the live chat room, but he might be in the live chat room again. I'm sure that he's in there somewhere. So thank you for this. Laura, but everybody for requesting just a quick mention for Charlie to get well soon. And Liz has sent this in as well. Now, these pictures I did show on the live stream, and the pictures you can see Liz is now framed. The Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, but the pictures with Morris there and Taj. And Liz, of course, in the Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. So, yeah, thank you for sending in that one, Liz, and all you guys for uploading your pictures to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. And if you want to, join in with that group, you can do. Just head over to that page, search for it on Facebook, and join the group. You'll be allowed in there. Right, we are going to be jumping into the Phil Jam, I believe, because we've got to 371 likes, so thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up and getting us to the target. And Laura says, I think that says something like, it's only one day here, not so as you'd notice, something like that. So thank you for that. It disappeared off the screen, so I had to kind of use my photographic memory that I don't have, but I saw some words like that in the live chat room. So I think that's the case with Halloween. Some people really go for it in a big way, and other people don't really. Like me, my family have never been really big on Halloween. I think my nephews are probably bigger on it than we were as a family. If anything, my parents would just turn off all the lights in the house and hope that nobody knocked on the door. So when they said trick or treat, we just pretended that we were out. So that's what we did in Halloween and on Halloween. I know that, it seems like some people do spend a long time celebrating it, but it is only one day. Right, and the other thing is trying to remember which day it is, or I say remember, having your eye on the calendar so that you're not caught unawares and you open the door and then you've got loads of kids wanting lots of chocolate and you say, I don't really have any chocolate. I wonder what, maybe like a protein bar or something. So then the next year the kids come round and they're really well built because you're giving them protein. Right. Let's jump into the Phil Jam, and it's number 50. And by the way, Chumley just donated $10. Thank you for that, Chumley, in the messages. But it says 1, a big number 1. So that means the first donation in the super chat window. So thank you for that. The message is, Phil, are you going to wear a costume on the October 31st live stream? So thank you for that. And I have done in the past, not really worn a costume, but I have done a kind of theme and had stuff on the screen. So I'll probably do that again whenever that live stream is set to happen. I don't know which day that actually falls on, whether it's a live stream day or not. But we will find out when we get there. Right. Guitar plugged in. Backing track list loaded. Click on number 50. This is Paramount Plus, apparently. Right, let me mute that. Oh, it's going to be one of those adverts that I've got to try and sit through. So, while this is going, this is Deep, Spacey Groove, Guitar Backing Track Jam in A. And this is from Elevated Jam Tracks. So, the Jam Track channel that we have had a few times. This next advert I can actually skip through, which is good. And just looking at the beginning of this, it might be one of those videos that has the pedal example on it. So he's playing through with different tones. I don't know, he might start with a solo or have a solo at the end, I think happened. But let's have a listen to this, see what happens. So, first of all, can you hear that? And zoom out, zoomed out, fold legs, lift up guitar. Okay, so quite a relaxed one. I don't think we're going to be getting particularly heavy with this, but we'll keep on playing through. Okay, and Joanne just donated $49.99. Thank you for that, Joanne. And an advert has just tried to start, so let me skip that. So thank you for that one. And Joanne says, wishing everyone a good evening. So thank you for that. Let's get back to this. How long we've got left on this one. Okay, about 2.5 minutes. We'll keep on going through, see what happens. that was the end. Oh, at the end, it's now going to go into, I think, some different pedals, like demonstrating different pedals and stuff. So there we go. I mean, that was quite a mellow ending. Anyway, I was just kind of playing through. But, I mean, quite a nice backing track too. Just play through and just react to what's going on. Even though there's a change that I think the first time, I thought it was going to resolve down, but it didn't. It then went into another progression. But we kind of got away with it. It seems like, it's kind of fine. I think this, because the sound I've got here is really heavy. I had to take a lot of the volume out of it so that we've got it just kind of poking its head through. So yeah, kind of got away with it. Anyway, yeah, so thank you, Joe, for kind of bumping that message up to the top of the inbox so that I could find it a little bit more easily on the live stream. But thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up, getting us to the Phil Jam number 50 tonight. And we are going to be calling things to a close now. Thank you guys for the donations. As I say, you don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. And yeah, do make a big difference. So thank you guys for those. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, another analysis video, of course, another one on Friday as well. And then we're going to be live streaming on Saturday night. As always, you guys will know, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Be there or be square, as they say. I'm going to be there. I'm always there. So on a Saturday and Tuesday live stream evenings. So I will hopefully see you on Saturday night, but I'll see you at tomorrow night's video as well. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!